What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Joe, JH Overcomes, America's friendliest cop, just coming in for your weekly check-in. I know right now we're going through a lot of different things in this country, so I wanted to stop in and make sure everybody's good. You know me, I like to do my Friday night live, my Friday night late night live check-in to make sure everybody's doing okay. And listen, as you guys are signing in tonight, make sure you're shouting out your location and make sure I want to know who we're talking to. I want to know where you are, how far this reach is really going throughout the country. And I want to make sure that we are, we have an understanding of exactly, sorry to turn the air conditioner off there. I want to make sure that you guys understood what this is all about. This is a weekly check-in that I like to do for everybody who's been following me lately. And I want to make sure that everybody's good. I want to make sure, this is just a mental health check-in. I want to see how you guys are doing mentally. I want to see how you guys are doing emotionally. So as you guys hop on tonight, just shout out your location. I want to know where you guys are. Let's see who we got there. Dana Queens, what's going on? Dana, how are you? Rich, what's going on, my brother? Right there. That is the comeback coach. That is the comeback coach, a man of great inspiration. California is in the building. California is definitely in the building. Let's see. I love you, my blessed brother. Bert Grace, how you doing, sir? It's a pleasure to see you as well. Green Bay, Wisconsin. A lot of cheese out there. I love it. Home of the Green Bay Packers. Okay, that's one of some of my favorites. Listen, don't be shy. We're going to talk about some things tonight. We're going to talk about how, I don't know what's wrong with my hat. I keep doing this thing with my hat. I think I got a crooked head. I think that's what it is. But, whatever it is, we're just going to make it work tonight. How about that? We're just going to let it rock. Garfield, New Jersey's in the building. North Arlington, Jersey's representing deep tonight. Deep. So today's Friday, and it is the 19th, Friday the 19th, and I wanted to stop in. Okay, I know. Listen, we had a great week this week. I got a lot of feedback on the page, a lot of feedback talking about self-inflicted anxieties and how we can help overcome these things. What are we doing to ourselves that's contributing to our anxieties? What is it that we're doing, and we're not doing that's causing us to have more anxiety than we really need to have. Okay, because right now we're in turmoil right now in our country. I'm not going to say that we're not. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm not here to say that we're not going through a lot of different things, because we are. Okay, let's keep it real. We're not going to hide it. But what I try to do is I try to make sure that it's okay to come to a place where you could chill and relax a little bit. Now I know what's going on in the world. Okay, I see it. Okay, I see the cops being hurt. I see people being hurt. I see the riots and everything going on. But what I'd like to do is I like to just come back to just a moment of peace. We made it. We made it another week. It's Friday. I spoke to you guys last Friday, and we talked about having positive posts and positive interactions, and we talked about how it's very important for us to control our space. Right. We talked about I challenged everybody this week. Some people stepped up. Some of you guys are just struggling to leave people alone and struggling to stay out of the mix. But listen, with practice, everything comes. I promise you that. I didn't always know how to walk away from situations. Sometimes it's like, and it's not that I don't mind confrontation. Okay, it just is what it is. My field of work, it always has confrontation. But the one thing we need to realize is this: is that every fight is not our fight. Right. So we don't have to entertain everybody. We don't have to worry about everybody all the time. We don't have to we don't have to get involved in everything. So I want to make sure everybody knows that Juneteenth. That's right. That's right, Danny. That's right. Juneteenth. Hey, listen, don't forget to shout out your locations as you guys are jumping on. I want to see who we're reaching. So again, we need to really monitor our space. We really need to monitor the things that we're doing, the people that we're entertaining, and social media has been the culprit. I promise you that. Listen, I have seen it over and over and over again about how people are, engaging in interactions that it's just not necessary. Okay, we really need to check ourselves on that, because, it's causing you more anxiety than anything else. Okay, you wake up in the morning and the first thing we're doing is, and I got caught up one day this week where, I turned over, the alarm went off, and I was actually up before the alarm. I don't really use the alarm, but I turned over as the alarm went off. I grabbed the phone And before I knew it, I picked it up and I turned it on, and right away, negativity. It was just negative interactions. And before you know it, before I knew it, I was in about at least 10 minutes of it. And so I need us to understand this, is that the media, how it's set up, okay, we are right now, we need to be the front runners. Okay. Right now we're the minority. Positive people are the minority. Let's call it what it is. There's a lot going on, but we control what social media does. Okay, we control that. So, we talked about promotion this week. If you ride past a billboard, right? If you ride past a any kind of Dunkin' Donuts billboard, cops, Dunkin' Donuts, or a jewelry billboard, what are they doing? They're promoting something, right? They're promoting, whatever item they're selling, whatever they want to get out, whatever they want to get across to people. And this is exactly what we're doing on social media, whether we want to believe it or not. Okay, if the way social media works, I know a lot of you guys know, some preach to the choir, but the more interactions a post gets, the more the platform is going to leave it up. So a lot of people sometimes say, well, he saw me on Facebook or she saw me on Facebook. No, it's not necessarily true. Sometimes you post something and it doesn't get interaction. And if it doesn't get interaction, then Facebook's going to remove it. Okay, Instagram is going to remove it because they're a business too. They have to strive. They need things. They want to keep people entertained. And how are they keeping people entertained? Okay, we're keeping each other entertained by sharing negative stuff on social media all day long. And what's happening is we're getting caught up. And they know this. Okay, social media knows this. Mainstream media knows this. People know exactly what's going on. They know exactly what sells. Sex sells, violence sells. All the things that are going on in the world, the rioting that sells. But if we just monitor our own space a little bit more, you'll find some of your anxieties start to slip away. Really, and I'm telling you right now, that a lot of the things that we're creating, the anxieties that we have right now, some of it is just us. Okay, some of it is just us. So what I want to do is I want to recap. This week, and I want to go back on some of the topics that we spoke about. Let's see. Bert Grace is asking for prayer. Let me see what you got there, Bert. I'm an old man, Bert, so I need to put the glasses on. Okay. Bert, pray for me as I battle severe depression and suicidal tendencies. I wish I could be in heaven with my dad, Joe Hammond. Well, Bert, you know what? I'm going to, I am going to reach out to you after this call, but if there's somebody in the group that can just, let's send Bert some encouragement, man. Listen, Bert, I know that sometimes we have these feelings, and, I can't really say that it's something that I experience, but what I do want to say to you is this, is that we all do have a purpose here, man. And I know sometimes that we don't know what that purpose is. We don't know, which direction to turn, and we don't know who to reach out to. But this is the whole purpose of this group here. This is the whole purpose of this page, to make sure that we're dealing with, those types of feelings and those types of issues that we're having amongst ourselves and what we're surrounding ourselves with. And what I want to know is, is how is it that we can help each other, get through certain things? How is it that we can get through certain things? And I want to make sure that, and Bert, you have some people here, in this group, okay, that are reaching out to you right now. Dana sending love and light and healing for you, Bert. Okay, you do have some people who care about you and who feel for you. Brad Ronald, I'll be praying for you, my brother. I suffered through the same. I have depression, and I have been in those dark places. God has a plan for you. You may not know what it is right now, but He does have a plan. Go check out my story on the Frog Logic podcast, episode 43, and see how I battled back. Listen, Bert, I have to say this to you perfectly, and what I want to say to you is this: is that this young man right here that you see on the screen, Brad Ronald. Okay, he is the epitome of strength. Okay. He's a personal friend of mine, and he's telling you to go check out his podcast episode, For a Purpose. Okay. Not to get too much in his story, but he's actually going to be a guest on my podcast, but he has found ways to deal with his depression. He has found ways to deal with, something that he's going through. And he's a military guy. He's also a SWAT guy. He's a police officer, and he has been through some things. He's seen some things. So, people like this who are reaching out on this page, man, this is invaluable. We really need to understand that there's people out here hurting right now. And you know what it is? It's We've all seen something in this country right now where that we're dealing with, and we're all suffering a little bit of PTSD. Every single one of us. Every single one of us. And what we have right now is we have an entire country right now of people, running around with PTSD, and they don't even realize it. We've been traumatized by some of the things we've seen, and what's happening is the more we continue. All right. The more we continue to entertain negative social media, negative mainstream media, the more we continue to do that, okay, we're feeding those traumas. We're feeding, that post-traumatic stress. So this is why I started addressing this week, because I want us to realize how much we're playing a part into hurting other people as we go along, because this as fireworks go on in the background. My dog's going crazy, but I want everybody to realize how much of a part we play in feeding these anxieties to people, and including ourselves. We're feeding our own anxieties. So Bert, if you need to, man, reach out, and thank you for reaching out, Brad. And he says here, Brad says, Bert, trust me, you are not alone, in capital letters. You're not alone. You are not alone, brother. Trust me. You can always reach out. And if you need to reach out to me personally, please. And if I can't help you personally, I promise you, Bert, I'll point you in the right direction. All right. We're going to get through this together. So we're talking about some self-inflicted anxieties. Hey, listen, when you guys jump on tonight, don't forget to shout out your location. We're talking about that again. And we're going to get into some of the things that we talked about this week. One of the things that we talked about is how, we need to really be careful about how we talk to ourselves, right? How do we speak to ourselves on a daily basis? There's nobody that is closer to you than you. Okay. Nobody knows you like you. You don't spend any more time with anybody except more than you do yourself. So we really need to get to know ourselves. Okay. How do you speak to yourself on a daily basis? What do you say? If you're waking up in the morning, you're saying the same thing every day, you're getting into the same habits every day, and you're not understanding it, that it's you that's contributing to that, that's going to be an issue. Okay. Eventually it's going to be an issue. If you keep watering that, if you keep watering negative talk to yourself, self-defeating beliefs, self-defeating conversations. I spoke to somebody this week who said, she feels helpless, and that's self-defeating talk. Okay, and I'm not saying it's easy to get over. These are things that are going to take practice. Okay, again, you guys know me. I didn't just wake up one day positive. I didn't wake up with great energy. But what happened was over time, practice. And these are some of the things that we talked about this week during the videos, the morning videos. And I know, listen, I want to thank everybody seriously for all the stuff that you guys are giving me as feedback as far as these videos go, because I want you guys to know that we are in this thing together, and we're going to get through this together. All right. The next topic that we talked about was this week was, let's see, bear with me. Okay. We talked about same crap, different day. Okay. But are you creating the same crap every single day? Right. You guys go to work. You guys know you go to work. There's that guy. Okay. There's that girl who always, hey, what's going on, bro? Same crap, different day. Same crap, different day, same circus, same clowns. There's always that guy who has that same negative, or that's that girl who has that same negative attitude. It's funny because, I remember when I used to walk into roll call in the morning as a police officer, and what would happen was, I come in the morning, I'm amped, I'm ready to go. I've been up since 4, roll call starts at 7, and I've been, I'm ready for the world, and there was this one guy who always said, hey man, can you just bring it down just a little bit? And finally, one day I just said to him, no, why don't you just bring it up? Okay, why don't you bring it up? I'm not the one with the issue, man. You bring it up a little bit, So the one thing we need to realize, the one thing we need to do is that, we control our own space. Okay, if you're waking up every day and you're dealing with people every day who are saying, same crap, different day, and all this other, maybe you're creating that crap. Okay, you really got to check yourself and see what kind of crap you're creating. What are you watching in the morning? What are you reading in the morning? What are you doing in the morning? What's your morning routine, right? I have a morning routine that I get up. Somebody asked me every day, the other day, about what my morning routine is, what it consists of. And, basically when I get up in the morning, first thing I do is I down some water, okay, cleanse that body out. I get that, I rehydrate, from all the body, the body has heat at night. So you lose fluids, you sweat throughout the night. Some of you might not wake up sweating, but you lose fluids throughout the night. So the first thing I do in the morning, and a lot of people don't know that if you have headaches in the morning, sometimes it's just you're dehydrated. Okay. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you that, but it could just be you're dehydrated in the morning. It's almost like, remember those days when we used to have those hangovers? back in the day, like the far days. All right, it wasn't that far, but you wake up with that hangover, and sometimes it's just dehydration. Okay, it's just dehydration. So what do? We drink the Gatorade, we throw back the Gatorade, and all of a sudden we're feeling better, ready for another day, right? But I'm not encouraging it. I'm not encouraging it. But what I'm saying to you is this: is that the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I try to after I go use the rest of I down some water. Okay, right from there, I go right into prayer and meditation. I read something good. I try to fill my head with something good. I try to put some good spirits into my body, man. And when I say spirits, I mean the Holy Spirit. I try to put some good energy into my body to get this day started. And some people will say to you, listen, I'm not a morning person, or, I like to sleep late. That's cool. I get it. Everybody's not going to be a morning person, but I'm a morning person. I love to wake up in the morning. I love to get up and get after it, man. I really do. And there's something about watching that sunrise. So if you are a morning person, but you've been struggling lately, part of the reason you're struggling lately is because you're staying up so late on social media, right? You got to put the phones down. You got to turn off those electronics. You got to start, what I do at night. When it's time to shut it down, I will, I'll play some soft music on. I have two phones. One I use for my videos and things like that, and the other one's my main phone. But I'll just put one phone on, on my music, some soft music or whatever it is that comes with YouTube. YouTube has everything, people. Okay, I'm letting you know right now. So if you're looking for something, YouTube it. You want those sweet sounds at night, the rain sounds, YouTube it. You want the nice jazz. I got the jazz music right now playing in the background. YouTube it. Okay, but develop a good morning routine. Okay, develop something that's going to help you get through the day, because if you don't prime yourself before you start dealing with people, and you roll right out of bed and you're late and you're running around and you have to get to work, but every day it's the same traffic, every day it's that same lady who cuts you off. Listen, you haven't adjusted the time that you get up in the morning. You haven't adjusted that. So now when you have, it's almost like when you have the kids that when it's time to go to school. You can't get up the same time the kids get up and expect to have a functional morning. Now, listen, if you can, that's great. But for the most part, you're probably going to have to get up before the kids just to get your mind right. All right. So I just wanted to, just give you some morning tips and things like that. And hey, listen, let me address some of my people here. Colleen, how are you? Florida's in the building. Yes, Florida's in the building. CSI, she is CSI. God bless what you do. You see a lot. Colleen. And, this is a good place for you. Emma Sarah, the book. Okay, listen, put the book in. And if you guys have a website that you guys want to share, if you guys have a business that you want to share, a book, anything you want to share, listen, my page is open. Okay, as long as it's positive energy, as long as it's something good for the people that are watching right now, throw it in. I got no problem with that. All right, and as you guys are jumping in, just let me know your locations, man. I want people to know exactly how far we're reaching. Last week we were talking to Taiwan, so I want to make sure we're touching people all over the world. We talked about same crap, different day, but are you creating it? Some of it, you're just creating it yourself. I'm just going to call it what it is. And I'm not preaching to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm speaking from experience. Everything you hear me talking about right now is never going to be something I haven't been through or I'm currently going through myself. And that's one of the things that people always say about me. I will gladly tell you what I've been through, but I'm not going to tell everybody what I'm going through right now. All right. Not everybody can handle it. Let's see here. Matthew, hope you're doing good. It's been a long time. How are you, sir? It's always been good. It's always been good. As long as we're on the right side of the grass, it's a good day. It's a great day. So we're recapping last week. We're recapping this past week on things that we talked about in videos in the morning. And I encourage you guys, listen, you don't have to ask me if you can share my videos. I want you to share the videos. Please share the videos, because listen, it's going to help somebody. Okay. I don't share the videos for me. Okay. I share videos and I just pass on whatever's given to me. I want to make sure I can help somebody else. I want to leave the world a better place in any kind of way I can, even if it's small. Day 3, we talked about you're going to lose people. Okay. And I highlight hopefully. Okay. Hopefully. And here's the biggest thing that people need to realize. Your social media, okay, feed is exactly, it's called that for a reason. It's your feed. Okay. It's feeding you. Okay. There are certain people on your social media feed. Okay. There's people that I know for a fact, I know exactly what I'm going to get every day. Okay. I know who's going to get on there and rant. Okay. I know who's going to get on there just having a bad day and is going to MF everybody. Okay. I know who's going to get on there with the jokes. Okay. Nadine, thank you so much. I know who's going to get on with, with good, honest and good, material. I know who I can have a conversation with without getting bashed. There's certain people. So as you've been on social media, you get to know the people that are following you, right? And the people you're following. So you're going to lose some people in these times. I'm telling you right now, let it happen. Let it happen. There are people right now who are out there on your social media feed who should have never been there, right? We call them what? We call them friends, right? But what's really happening is, people are exposing themselves. Okay, people are exposing themselves. This was another topic that we talked about the other day about how people are exposing themselves, and let it happen. Let it happen. I believe that 2020 is a year of exposure. Okay. You saw that. We saw that the other day we saw that a couple of weeks ago on national television with the police officers. I believe that we're going to see it also with, the judicial system, all the way up to Congress, all the way up to Supreme Court, all the way up to the pharmaceutical companies, hospitals, it's a year of exposure, so if you have some so-called friends on your social media feed that are exposing themselves, let it happen. Don't engage. You don't have to fight with them. Sometimes you just have to sit back and say, "Wow, okay, I didn't know you were that way." And it's going to be family also. Okay, don't be surprised by family. Don't be listen. I tell this story, and I told you the other day, about my father, and I'll tell you this story over and over again. My father left when I was 5 years old, right? And you know, if I can understand, okay, that somebody like that, okay, can become second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th in my life. Okay, this is the person that helped to create me, right? Through God. This is the person that helped to bring me into this world. So, and we don't have a relationship. So that should show you that just because people are blood doesn't mean they're always going to be there for you. Just because people are blood doesn't mean it's always going to be Gucci. You know what I'm saying? It's not always gonna be Gucci, baby. I'm telling you, you need to understand that sometimes, yeah, blood may be thicker than water, but that blood don't quench the thirst sometimes. I'm telling you right now. So we really need to understand that it's going to happen. Let the exposure happen. Okay. Don't be surprised by it. I'm telling you, it's happening. And this is good because it's time for the good people to be the front runners. And in order for us to be the front runners, we got to get rid of some people. Seriously, there's some bad people out there in the world. And I'm telling you right now, people are being exposed. Just let it happen. I'm not telling you to be a doormat. I'm not telling you to let people walk on you. Just understand that it's going to happen. Let's see. Let's share some comment. I want to reach out to some people who I want to see if you agree or disagree. Absolutely. Dana says, absolutely. Okay. Just ended a relationship today that meant the world to me because it was just toxic. Okay, toxic relationships. You've seen me do videos on toxic relationships before. If you're forcing something, you're going to cause some damage. Okay, if you're forcing a relationship, there's going to be damage caused. There's no way around it. Okay, we continue to put ourselves in these relationships, and what happens is we're not treating ourselves right. So if we're not treating ourselves right, we can't expect other people to treat us right. Right. So there's a lot of toxic relationships out there. And thank you for sharing that, Dana. Thank you for your transparency. Emissara is, here's the book. Okay. Exposure. Okay. With a purpose to go to glorify God. Emissara is a fellow speaker of mine from ETA. And she is, listen, let me tell you something. Very, very powerful woman. Okay. She is a woman of God by far. And she has written an amazing book. And I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. And, just take a deep look, just take a deep look. And Emissara also says, treat others how to treat you. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I used to always say, I didn't start developing better relationships until I started to understand exactly who I am. Right. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is this, when I had gone through a breakup before, and what happened was I realized that I was starting to attract the same type of person, right? I was starting to, and I realized that it's me. I wasn't treating myself right. So some of us, when we get alone, okay, we feel like we need to be with somebody, and I'm not going to say that you don't. I can't. I'm not going to judge you for what your beliefs are. But if you want to start, if you want to have people treat you better, you got to treat yourself better. Okay, spend some time by yourself. Date yourself. These are things that I did. Date yourself, go out to it, go out to have a drink by yourself, go out to a movie by yourself, go shopping by yourself, spend some time getting to know you. We talked about that at the top of this broadcast about how, you spend the most time with you. Okay. Nobody knows you like you. Nobody knows what you like. Nobody knows, how you feel like you. Okay. Next to God, of course, but the one thing you need to realize is that you are in control of your space. All right. So the more you learn how to treat yourself better, then you'll understand how to let people treat you, and you won't let people walk on you. And it doesn't mean you don't have to be a bull in the china shop about it either. Okay. Your energy will tell exactly how you need to be treated. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Emma Sarah. Let's see here. Dana says you can hold the trash can, but you are not the trash can. Absolutely. 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 I agree wholeheartedly. Let's see. Colleen says, I spoke to a coworker about treating others how you want to be treated. She told me her school is teaching her daughter. She told me her school is teaching her daughter. That's wrong. That's absolutely not wrong. Just because you want to be treated a certain way doesn't mean the other person accepts that. Okay. Let me take a little deep dive in that one. Expectations of people. Okay. Expectations. If you're expecting people to treat you a certain way just because you treat them a certain way, okay, you're going to let yourself down. Okay. And I'm not saying that's not contradicting what I just said. Okay. You can treat people the way that you want to be treated, but it doesn't mean they're going to accept it. It doesn't mean they're going to comply. And this is when you have to realize it. Do I stay or do I go? Do I entertain this or do I not entertain this? Our expectations of people let us down every time because you're expecting, there's that meme that says, if you're expecting the lion not to eat you just because you didn't eat the lion, you're sadly mistaken. All right. If you walk into a lion's den, you're going to get eaten. Okay. Period. So what you need to realize is just because you put certain energy out, don't always expect it back. Don't always expect it back. Our expectations will get us hurt every single time if we live in that expectation. Everybody's not like you. You'll find conversations where people say, well, if I were you, I would have said this. And I would have said, yeah, but you're not me. And well, if I were you, I would have told myself, nah, but you're not me. Okay. Stop expecting people to behave in a certain way. Okay. And this is one of the biggest things I had to learn in law enforcement was, understanding that, what, I can't trust everyone when I'm working as a law enforcement officer. Okay. I'm a nice guy. Okay. I'm a gentleman. I will treat you fair. I will always treat you with respect. But sometimes I can't go into a situation expecting people to return that. Okay. So therefore I have to have some type of guard up. And when when they show different, okay, the guard comes down a little bit and we can have a conversation. But until then, you can't walk into every situation thinking and expecting everybody to react the same way that you would react. Okay. It's just not realistic. Let's see. Expectation. Expectation is the root of disappointment. Absolutely, Dana. I agree. Lisa Lennon says, amen. Amen. Emma Sarah says, facts. So true. We can become a magnet to the wrong thing. So it's all about making the decision. All right. Brian Farrell for Real Talk. Thank you, Brian, for chiming in. Hey, listen, people, don't forget to shout out your location, man. I want to see where we are tonight. So we're talking tonight about how, we're recapping this week, some of the videos I do in the mornings that people have been telling me are helping, and I want to continue to help. So we're talking about it, and we're talking right now. We are on, we're talking about how you're going to lose people. We talked about at the top of the hour, be careful how you speak to yourself, same crap, different day. Are you creating the crap? Okay. Is it something that you're creating? You're going to lose people. Hopefully, so that way you can make room for some better people in your life. And people are exposing themselves. Just let it happen. Don't fight it, man. Every fight is not your fight. Some people just can't help themselves. If you're a bad person, okay, if you got ugly inside of you, eventually that's going to come out. Okay. I'm not saying that you can't fix it. I'm not saying that you can't help yourself or you can't find help for it, but ugly things that are inside are eventually going to come out if you keep suppressing, if you keep trying to hold it down. Okay. Especially if that's who you truly are. And let's be real. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say there's not bad people in the world. There's bad people in the world, period. This is what it is. That's why we have cops. Sorry. Okay. There's always going to be an element of bad people. Okay. And what I want you to realize is this. Some people will come in and try to hide their true colors just to get at you, just to get at you. But soon and very soon, those true colors are going to come out. And the same way goes with if you're a nice guy. If you're a nice guy and you're out there trying to be a bad boy, you're out there trying to be a player, you're a nice girl, and you're trying to put on this facade that I'm tough and I'm hard and I'll get through this, and then you go home and you break down. Okay, eventually those true colors are going to come out. Be yourself. It's okay to be yourself. And that's one of the biggest things about social media. Some of us are so afraid to post positive stuff. Why are we so afraid to post positive stuff on our page? Okay, is it because people are not going to like it? Are we worrying about the number of likes that we're getting? Are we worrying about, how it's going to make people feel? Are we worrying about, what people are going to say about us? Listen, please take that way. Seriously, you guys need to understand that this is your space. We're talking about social media anxiety. We're talking about, you creating your own space. When I first started social media years ago, people asked me how I started speaking. You know how I started speaking? I started getting on social media and just opening up and just being myself. Okay. People clowned me all day long at work. He's talking to his phone again. He's in his car talking to himself again. They clowned me all day long. But eventually, I'm telling you right now, people are listening, but you got to follow the right people. You got to get yourself around the right people. Remember, you control your space. All right. Keyword is by emissary worry. Okay. Exactly. Please don't. We're worrying too much about people and worry about people's feelings and, and how they feel about us in a negative way. Okay. If you want to post positive stuff on your page, post positive stuff on your page and let people, if people can't get it, if they don't want to follow, there's the unlike button. Okay. Find another platform to follow. What else did we talk about this week? We talked about, you have to come first sometimes. Okay. That was today's topic on the video. We talked about how you come first. Okay. You have to put yourself first sometimes. And what does that mean? Right. What does that really mean? We talk about how, somebody got it confused today. I'm not telling you that you're not supposed to take care of your kids. Okay. Joe Hammond did not tell you to not take care of your kids. I'm not telling you that you're not supposed to take care of your loved ones, your husband, your spouse, everybody who's, in your circle. That's not what Joe Hammond said. Joe Hammond said that you have to come first sometimes. In order for you to be good for anybody else, okay, you have to come first, period. So when you're working out, when you're eating right, when you're getting in bed early, when you're waking up early, you're doing things for yourself so that way you can be better for somebody else. If your heart's desires to take care of that big, beautiful family, if your heart's desires to have all those grandbabies, or if your heart's desires to take care of that husband, that wife, you have to take care of yourself first. It's the oxygen mask theory in the plane. Okay, what's the first thing they tell you when those oxygen masks drop from the plane? Okay, you have to put on yours first. And why is that? If you don't put yours on first, you can't help anybody else. Okay. So sometimes we have to realize that we have to become selfish in a good way. Okay. We have to, and that's a good selfish. If you're not taking care of yourself, somebody else is going to wind up taking care of those kids. If you're not taking care of yourself, somebody else is going to wind up taking care of that spouse, that loved one, because you won't be here. Okay. You won't be here. You'll be putting yourself in an early grave. So what I'm saying to you is that if you don't take care of yourself, your space, your mental, your body in a certain way, you're not going to be any good for anybody else. I talked about it this morning about how, as a police officer, we get a hot call, something happens, something emergent happens. We got to get there. It could be a baby choking, or it could be, one of your partners are in a fight, or somebody's getting hurt, or gunshots, whatever the case is. The main thing is we have to get there. Okay, we have to get there first. If we don't get there by taking care of ourselves, making sure our vest is right, making sure everything is on right, making sure we drive through those traffic signals the right way. If we don't get there, then we're no good for anyone else. Okay, then the save will never happen. So we're talking about self-care. We're talking about social media anxieties we're putting on ourselves. We're talking about all the things that are going on in the world, but we're adding to it. Okay, right now we're in a country right now where we are suffering from post-traumatic stress. It just is what it is. The things that we saw on TV over the last couple of weeks, you're not supposed to see that on a regular basis. Okay, those are things that you're not supposed to see as human beings. Okay, as police officers, I've seen it before. Okay, I've seen a lot of different things. You cops out there, nurses, people who are first responders. Some of these things we have seen before, even if you're not a first responder. Some of these things we've seen before, and sometimes you become a little bit hard to it. Okay, but for some of us, we watch somebody get killed on national television. For some of us, we're watching a world right now where people are rioting and people are, destroying property. People are getting jumped and beat up and shot, and it's causing anxiety. It really, really is. And I'm not going to tell you it's easy to get over. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to sit there and say, suck it up, you'll be good. No. What you're seeing is very, very real. Okay. What you're seeing is real. And if you're not careful, you will become callous to it. If you're not careful, there's certain people who become drawn in by that. Okay. And if you have these people on your social media feed, if you're following these people on your social media feed, that stuff is being put into your head and it's not easy to get away. I'm telling you right now, it's not easy to get away. I worked in law enforcement right now for almost 20 years. And I challenge you, okay, to do anything like that for 20 years and not come out with some kind of things in your brain. It's going to happen. So we have to be real careful at this time right now. People, I know that it's a tough time. We're still going through COVID. I was going to say we're just getting out of COVID. We're still going through COVID, whether it's real or not. Okay. Whether it's political or not, whether it's, that's not my concern. Okay. I'm not really concerned about, if it's a political race, if it's all I know is that I had it. Okay. All I know is I know people who have died from it. I know there's people that were here 6 months ago that are not here now. And these are things that are going to cause anxiety for you. Stop with the negative social media. I can't tell you enough. It's very, very difficult to keep scrolling sometimes because it's so intriguing. But I promise you, if you start to clean up certain things in your own house, certain things in your social media, certain things with the people you're following, those family members, those friends and so-called people that you think were with you the whole time in your life, start cleaning that up. And I promise you're going to have a better life. I promise you. Let's address some of these comments right quick. I want to make sure I reach out to everybody. Brad Ronald says, get your mind and body right so you can be of maximum service to others around you. Absolutely. Absolutely. We just talked about that, about how, if you're no good for yourself, you're not going to be good for anybody else. Al Malinari says, amen. Amen to that. Al, put your t-shirts in there. If you guys are just jumping on, put your webpage in there, put your book in there. I am here to help you guys get back in business. I'm here to help people, get those books out. Let's see. Judy Sparkle says mentally healthy. Judy, I can't agree more. I cannot agree more. We have to have good mental health right now. And unfortunately, we're living in a world where there's so many things that we're seeing in our face, in our space every single day. It's very hard to get out of it. Super hard to get out of it. Let's see. MSR says you can't pour from an empty vessel. So true. Yeah, you got to take care of yourself. Frida says, amen to that. Amen. Frida, thank you for joining us. Let's see here. Yeah, Judy, trauma. We've been traumatized. Okay, the world has been traumatized right now. And I don't want people to think that you haven't been. We have been traumatized. It has been something. This is something that we're going through. And I don't want people to think that it's just going to be something that's just going to pass right away. But it will pass. I promise you that it will pass. But it's going to take help from each and every one of us. Do the next right thing, Brad says. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Judy says, let's see. COVID-19, Black Lives Matter, no election. Now elections must stay off media. Yeah. We have, and listen, let me say this. Okay. Let me say this. We're coming into election time. Okay. I promise you, it's not going to help your anxiety. I promise you, you're going to find people who are going to try to coerce you to change your vote, to tell you who to vote for. You're going to argue over people in the White House. Go vote. Period. That's it. Go vote. Don't get into these arguments with these social media politicians who know absolutely nothing about politics. If you know nothing about politics, please don't get on social media talking about politics. Really. I mean, there's people who are politicians. I get it. There are people who study political science. There are people who study these things. This is what they do. I get it. Okay. I'm not a politician. And most of my friends aren't politicians either. Okay. If you have your views, that's great. If you have your opinions, that's great. But I promise you this, when we start mixing, okay, the top of this year, COVID-19, riots, murders on television, buildings burning down, and now we're going into an election. Okay. It's a cocktail, okay, for us to have anxiety for the entire 2020. Okay. But you are in control of that. I promise you, you are in control of that by what you allow into your personal space. Please, please, people, listen to what I'm saying to you. This is not my opinion. Okay. These are facts. We have had a rough go at it this year. Okay. We're making it because we're still here to talk about it. But if we finish up this year worrying about this election and fighting people about who our choice is and who your choice should be, just go to the polls and vote. Okay, that's it. Okay, you don't have to get on here and talk about. And I'm not telling you not to talk about politics. If you love politics, that's great. Okay, but when we start getting into these arguments over people and you're getting into arguments with people you don't even know, it's so bad. Like we need to really check ourselves on that. And if I'm the only one that feels that way, please somebody help that. Joe Hammond, I put an encouraging word for you on your Facebook page. Bert, thank you, man. Thank you. You're a great guy, man. I love you, dude. You're a great follower. I love you. Brad Reynolds says, keep your side of the street clean. Only worry about the things that you have control over, period. Okay, stop worrying about things we can't control, people. Stop worrying about the things we can't control. Al Malineri says, we need each other. The word of God builds up. Okay, and listen, there's nothing else. There's nothing more that I could say other than that, Al. Of course. Emma Sarah says, pray. If people are getting their truth from media, we are in trouble. Yeah, because everything on social media is true. I guess this is what I have a running joke that, oh, I heard it on Facebook, so it must be true. It's not. It's not. Listen, I promise you, people, social media, mainstream media, it's a system. Okay, it really is a system. I know some people don't want to hear that. Some people don't want to believe that, but it's a system. Okay, they know what sells. They know how we think. These are the people they know exactly what you're following, what you're watching. It's not a conspiracy theory. Don't take it that deep. I'm not saying that, but I also don't want you to be blind as to what they're showing us on mainstream media and social media. Be careful what you watch, people. Be careful what you entertain. All right. Pray for the children. Yeah, Judy Sparkle says, pray for the children. Okay, Judy, I saw a couple of posts on your page this week, and excuse me. I saw a couple posts on your page this week that I'm watching these children, man, and it really is sad. We are some of these parents need to be ashamed of themselves. Seriously, and again, I'm not pointing fingers, but the things that we're teaching these kids. I watched these parents and encouraging the kids to fight each other. You really should be ashamed of yourself. It's just not the way to move, and it's only making the world a worse place. And you're the problem. I'll tell it to your face. You're the problem. Okay, so again, pray for the children. Those are the ones that we need to encourage, need to lift up this time, because and we have to watch what we're allowing our kids to watch right now. Don't think, okay, just because they're children, that they haven't been traumatized by what they've seen on television. Okay, pay very, very close attention. I'm constantly checking on my daughter. Hey, baby girl, how you doing? Okay, you're right. How do you feel? And I spoke to, how do you feel about what you saw? How do you feel about, the things that are going on in the world? And I've checked in and had these conversations. These are honest conversations that we need to have. Okay, of course they need to be age based. Okay, but we need to really understand that our kids have phones. Okay, our kids have social media. Our kids have computers, and they have seen it. Okay, they've seen it on social. They've seen it on TikTok. They've seen it on Instagram. And we really got to be careful, people, because they're watching. Okay, they are watching. Okay, so make sure you stop in, check on your kids, make sure they're good, make sure they're handling this thing right, because, young trauma turns into old trauma. Okay, so we got to be real careful with that. Bert Grace says, good night, all. Please read my encouraging word on Joe's page. Hey, Bert, good night, man. And listen, if you need, to reach out, please reach out. I'm going to reach out to you anyway, just to check on you, brother, just to make sure you're good. But if you need me and before that, reach out, please do. And let's see, Emma Sarah says, the kids, my God, my prayers for the kids are deep. Well, listen, for those of us who don't know Emma Sarah, I think you have 5, 8, like nine kids. Okay, listen, God bless you. Okay, I lost count. God bless you and your husband. Your husband's a great, great man. I saw what you wrote about him. I'm not going to say there. I'm not going to, put him on blast of how great he is and the things that he's done. But shout out, kudos to you and your husband, for raising all those children and making sure they're growing up in the word. All right, 8 kids. Okay, 8 kids, which is very, very uncommon these days. But always welcomed. I love it. I love it. Okay, so again, we're just going to go over real quick the things that we spoke about this week, and we're going to get out of here. Okay, one, be careful how you speak to yourself. Okay, be careful what you say about yourself. You are your biggest critic. Okay, start making sure you listen. Love yourself. Okay, you were put here to prosper. You were put here to do great things. Same crap, different day. You're probably creating it. Okay, if that has become your saying, then you are probably creating it. The same crap, different day. You're going to lose some people. Hopefully. Okay. Hopefully clear out the mess. Okay. Take out the trash. People are exposing themselves. Let it happen. Okay. Just let it happen. Don't fight it. If people are trying to go, or people trying to show their true colors, just let it happen. You have to come first. Okay. Remember this week, people, put you first sometimes. Okay. Just understand that you need to take care of you, and nobody's going to take care of you like you. All right. I am your boy, Joe. JH Overcomes, America's friendliest cop. No matter what's going on in this world, I'm still going to be America's friendliest cop, baby. You're not going to bring me down. I promise you that. I will see you when I see you. And until then, peace. And I mean that literally. Peace.